So despite all the things that are wrong with this house, and there's plenty of those, there's one thing that gave me pause about getting the place. And it's not the plumbing, it's not the rotting, it's not the leaking roof, none of that. It's a single beam in the center of the house that needs to be fixed. So let me show you what I'm talking about here. So I set my laser up, shoot a beam on the wall here, and you can see the spacing there, and as you go along, the floor gets a little bit lower, and as you keep going, it gets even lower. There's a dip in the floor here, which causes minor problems. As you go into the room here, the door doesn't shut quite right, but that's not a big deal. You can kind of see that it's tipping down this way some, towards this way, but that in itself isn't a big deal. Who cares? It's a door, you can fix it. But the floor has a dip in it, and that's because of this beam downstairs. I don't know how well this will show up on the camera, but everything's kind of dipping there. But if you walk around and look, there's a big crack here along there, and when I removed this accordion door, most of the screws were not actually secure. They were either rusty or they just came out. So that means that it's probably either from termite damage or from water damage. But I need to find out why this is tipping, and you can, I think if I back off here, you can see the dip right in there. So the project this week is going to be to jack all these joists up off this beam, remove the light from this side, and then tear open the beam and find out what's going on inside of it. If it's like anything else I've found in this house, this is not a 4x or something better. This is 2x's nailed together, and my guess is this one is tipping out and is bowing, and it's either from water damage or it's from termite damage, but we won't know yet until I tear it open. So I have a small pile of lumber, and the plan is to use the 4x6s along here, and then one basically along this drywall seam, and use the 4x4s to hold the ceiling up, and basically lift everything up off that beam so I can safely open it up, find out what's going on inside of it. So let's start that, I guess. All right, so I have kind of the first one in. The two jacks are in place, and basically what I need to do is cut these 2x's into pads and then use the 4x's to actually hold them up. But basically I just need to jack it up some more so it's actually taking the weight off of it, and then I can put the 4x4s in, pads and everything at the bottom, and then I'll essentially do the same thing over here where this is, because the joists run from the outside of the house and meet above here. So they don't run all the way from one side to the other. They kind of sit on there. So that's the idea. Anyways, I also used some brackets to hold this in place so it doesn't roll side to side, and also just so I can get it in place and get it hanging and then get the jacks underneath it. But yeah, now it's just jack it up, get the 4x in place, and then I can do the other side. I'm probably gonna do all that tomorrow. Today's Thursday, so Friday do the one in the kitchen, get it, or I guess finish putting this in and then do the one in the kitchen. And then from there, over the weekend, I can open up the beam and see what we got going on inside. And also, I didn't mention earlier, but when I first moved in, I drew this line on here just to see if I could see if this thing's moved at all as I lived in the house, and it has not moved at all. So, yay. I couldn't really get enough leverage on those, so ultimately I ended up buying bottle jacks, basically get that snug, and then do the actual lifting with the jack. It seems to work pretty well. House definitely makes some fun noises as I do that. I've got the one 4x4 in there, so I just need to get that one in. Jacking it up, I created a new crack here, one there, and one there. But that's just the way the place is laid out. Like, you know, it is what it is. But this is significantly flatter, and as you climb up into the hallway and you look at the joists, I don't know if you could tell, if I can get a good angle. It's just bad light, but basically this joist here is actually lifted up off the beam right there that we're working with. So that's exactly what I want. Hopefully it's, there you can kind of see that. But hopefully I've got the same result down there. And then I need to do this side of the hallway next. I'll probably just start that tomorrow. So this is a bit slower going than that side because this drywall is 2 layers. It's the it's that combo mix I was telling you guys about with the multi-layers. That drywall was 1 layer. So what I was hoping is I could do a single line and then be able to just rip out because of the seam there, but the 2 layers overlap. So can't do that. All right, so I got the second beam in. It's in place, it's doing well. These are Petzl Grions. They're, I'm obviously using them the wrong way, but basically they're a part climbing gear, so you can have variable length tie-offs or hang from, bridle yourself, that kind of stuff. Anyways, they worked out well for getting the beam up there and in place. These are pretty solid. I probably should have cut this one maybe an 1/8 inch longer or so, but it's still solid. And I've lifted it up enough that I drew this line when I first moved in here, and I've lifted it up off the line. It looks like it's actually pretty close to the original position. So the next step is to open up this side, since that's where the bulk of the damage is, and see what I find. All right, so I'd been calling this thing the death beam since I moved in, and it appears that I have appropriately named it. The jack studs are all termite eaten. The beams itself, it appears to be 3 2x10s. They're completely termite ridden. They might as well be gone. Maybe 4 of them, I don't know, but it's completely gone. Everything, all the supports on this side are done. This one has some damage, but it's not bad. This one has damage, and it is real bad. This one has damage on the top half up there, but not the bottom, and it ends right there, which is interesting. And this and this, these two have termite damage. So I need to slice the ceiling open, pull all this mesh out, the old stock corner bead there. I need to apparently cut this line to get through here to pull these. Oh, that just goes to the light switch. That's good. These are curious. There's 2 standoffs for knob and tube in here, but this house is way too old for knob and tube, so I'm curious why that is there. Also, the gas line for the kitchen stove runs up and over this beam. So when I work on that side, I have to be careful about what's there. I need to take the light fixture and the cover off of the other side, pull that down, order some more of those LED lights, I guess. But yeah, this one has a little bit of damage here at the bottom, but it's not bad. Lots and lots of termite damage. So more stuff to open up and a big old mess to clean up. All right, so this week I'm doing the talking head at the end of the video here. But basically, you got all that termite damage there. This whole thing is termite damage. I kind of opened up that area a little bit to get a look, and it's 3 2x thick, but 2 of them, because of the shape of this wall, or one of them, is not actually resting on the supports. So that's what that is. Showed some pictures of this. I'm gonna quote Bob. He doesn't watch these, but I'm gonna quote him. He said, "This has failed, it just hasn't fallen down yet." I mean, so that's the goal for this next week, is to get all the lumber and get that replaced And that will also level out the floor upstairs, level out the ceiling down here, all that good stuff. It should make it much better. So thanks for watching. Drop by next week, see how far I get with this.